All right, let's get to something kind of scary. We're going to talk about starting fresh at 40. Now, notice I didn't say starting over because when you get to be 40, you're not new anymore. And so you don't have that pressure of starting from the beginning. You're not starting over again. You're starting fresh, meaning you're taking all the wisdom that you have gleaned in the last 40 years or the first half of your life, and you're using it to make your second half your best half. That's what starting fresh is all about. First thing we've got to do is we've got to dispel that midlife crisis ideology, because just because you get to be middle-aged doesn't mean that you are having a midlife crisis when you make a change. It might mean that you're growing into your skin and who you are. It might mean that you're comfortable enough with what you want to pursue it. It could mean any number of things. So when you decide that you want to start fresh at 40, you need to stop looking at it like it's a shameful thing or it's bad or it's your midlife crisis, okay? Like, enough of that. That's society. And you know what? Society shouldn't get to tell you how you live your life. That's what you get to do. Right. So now that we've decided we want to change, but we're not going through that midlife crisis, how do we make a fresh start? Well, the first thing you got to do is visualize the life you want, okay? And be specific. Close your eyes and see that world. And after you've seen that world that you want to live in and that life you want to have, compare it to your own life and see where you need to make changes. Because sometimes it's small, sometimes it's big, but when you start comparing side by side how you want to live to how you are living, you'll see what needs to change. And then write those things down. Make them steps like a to-do list. Like, okay, if I want to quit my job, well, what do I have to do? I have to get financial security first. For me, that looked like working 3 jobs. And that was not awesome, but it was a short amount of time. And it meant flipping a house. It meant all kinds of things so that I could have the financial freedom to do exactly what I wanted to do. And then the most important thing that you can do while you're working on those steps is share your plan, because that creates accountability. And statistically, you are more likely to reach your goals if you have that accountability on you. And I had a lot of people that were like, you're a lot of talking, very little action. And you know what? Those people just added fuel to my fire. And I was just more determined that I was going to prove those people wrong. And you know what? I ended up having to work an extra year that I hadn't planned on. Not because I financially needed it, but because emotionally I needed that year to say goodbye and to really know that I was making the right decision. And that was okay. My timeline changed. You know what? That happens. But by sharing that, I had people that at the end of the day were like, this has to be your last year because you've met this goal. You're working on this. This has to be the end. And you know what? That kind of helped me. I needed that. Important thing to remember when you're going through this and you're working on your fresh start and you're working through your list, it's going to suck at times. And you just have to embrace the suck because it's temporary. And you will get past whatever it is. I mean, for me, there were years where I went to school full time and I worked full time. Then after that, I had 5 years of working a full-time job, a part-time job, writing. I was a Beachbody coach to get extra income. Like, I spent a lot of time hustling so that I could make my dream come true. And you know what? While I'm not entirely there yet, I'm where I am today because of the steps I started taking 5 years ago and being able to just work through the suck and embrace it. So if you found this helpful, I go way more in depth in my latest blog post, and my blog can be found at theflipsideofme.com. And I have all kinds of things about embracing middle age and 40 because that's where I am in life. So I figure if my friends and I are struggling, I bet all of us ladies around 40 are struggling. So when you check out my blog, be sure that you click subscribe, because I have a whole series of things about 40, because 40 is the new black and we're going to wear it well. Also, be sure and follow me here on Instagram. I am the flip side of me. Have a great day.